Good afternoon, all the students. Pteridophytes. This pteridophyte, it is a Greek word, and meaning of that word, that is pteron, means the feather, and phytes or phyton means the plants. Pteridophyte, it is the group of the plants which can bear the leaves. The leaves, they are the feather-like like that of the birds. The bird leaves, the bird has the feather, and like that the leaves, they are present in these plants. This is the branch, or it is called as leaf lamina, and on that leaf lamina, on both sides, such type of the leaves, they are present. These are the feather-like leaves. They can be also present on the lamina of the leaf. This is the leaf lamina, and on that, or it is also called as rachis, and on that rachis, these are the leaflets. Leaflets are present. They are like that of the feathers, and therefore the plants, they are called as the pteridophytes. And meaning of that is pteron means feather and phyton means the plant. The pteridophytes, they are the plants which can show the feather-like leaves, and they represent the sporophytic phase. And the pteridophytes, they can be included in the cryptogams. What are the cryptogams? The cryptos means hidden and gametes means the gametes. The plants in which the gametes are hidden, the gametes are absent, and the plants in which there is no seeds and flowers. Flowers and seeds are not formed. Such plants are called as cryptogams. And what are the phanerogams? Phanerogams are the plants. They can bear the flowers and the fruits and seeds. They are called as the flowering plants. Here the plants, they can be divided into two groups, that is cryptogamic plants and phanerogamic plants. What are the cryptogamic plants? The plants which can shows which does not shows the flowers and seeds, they can be included in cryptogams. And phanerogams, the plants which can shows the flowers and seeds are formed, such plants are called as the phanerogams. The pteridophytes, they are included in the cryptogamic groups, that is, these are the non-flowering plants and non-seed bearing plants. These plants, they does not form the flowers and seeds. Such plants are called as cryptogams, and pteridophytes are included in the cryptogamic plants. And there are about the 400 genera. 400 genera of the pteridophytes. How many genera? There are about the 400 genera of the pteridophytes. They can be distributed all over the world, and there are about the 10,500 species. They can be distributed throughout the world. There are about 400 genera and 10,500 species. They can be distributed, and the majority of the species, they can be originated in the Paleozoic era, and some are the living genera as well as some are the fossil genera, and totally they can be included more than the 38 crores of the species, that is, they may be living as well as they includes the living as well as the fossil genera. They can be distributed. And the pteridophytes, they are the most successful plants, and they can show the cryptogams. And pteridophytes, they are called as cryptogams, and but they are cryptogams, but they are also called as the higher cryptogams. Pteridophytes are called as higher cryptogams. Why pteridophytes are called as higher cryptogams? Pteridophytes are called as higher cryptogams because these plants, they can show the presence of the vascular tissues. Presence of vascular tissues. Which vascular tissues are present? That is xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem, they can be present in the roots as well as in the stem, and these tissues, the vascular tissues, they are well developed in pteridophytes. In other cryptogams, that is in case of the algae, fungi, bryophytes, in these cryptogamic algae, fungi, bryophytes, they are also the cryptogamic plants. But in these cryptogamic plants, the vascular tissue system is not well developed. Vascular tissue system is absent. They are not well developed. They does not show this xylem and phloem. But in case of the pteridophytes, the vascular tissue system, it is well developed. It can shows the xylem and phloem, they can be present in the root as well as stem, and therefore the pteridophytes, they are called as higher cryptogams. They are called higher cryptogams because they can shows the well developed vascular tissue system. Vascular tissue system is well developed, therefore the pteridophytes, they are called as the higher cryptogams. This is about the introduction of the pteridophytes. Then general characters. Which are the general characters of the pteridophyte? General characters means it can include the habitat, morphology of that plant, then internal structure, then reproduction, etc. These can be also included in the general characters of the pteridophytes. The pteridophytes are the most herbaceous plants, and they can grow in moist, shady places. Some they can grow in aquatic places. The aquatic pteridophytes, it can includes as the Marsilia, then Azolla, Salvinia. They can also include in the aquatic pteridophytes. Some they are terrestrial, some are perennial, and some they can grow in the terrestrial places, means they can grow in the land, and some are aquatic. Aquatic means the pteridophyte, they can grow inside the water. They are called as the aquatic plants. Which are the aquatic ones? That is Azolla, Salvinia, Marsilia. These are the aquatic plants. And other members, they are the terrestrial ones, and they are perennial, and they are some are the tree-like form, that is Alsophila. Alsophila, it is a tree fern. Alsophila, it is a tree fern. It is larger. It is more than 10 to 15 feet in height, and therefore it is a larger fern. And smallest one is the Azolla. It is a aquatic pteridophyte. It is the in pteridophyte, that is Azolla, it is the smallest pteridophyte, and Alsophila, it is the tallest fern in the fern, that is, and it is called as the tree fern. So the pteridophyte, they can grow in various places. The plant body, it is a sporophyte, and this sporophytic plant body, it can be differentiated into root, stem, and the leaves. Root, stem, and leaves are formed, and the plant body can be differentiated into root, stem, and the leaves also. The majority of the species, they can show underground stem, and underground stem, it is called as rhizome, and stem can possesses aerial stem, and they can show the two types of leaves. The leaves, they may be scale leaves and the foliage leaves. In case of the pteridophytes, the leaves are of the two types, that is scale leaves, and another type of leaves, that is foliage leaves. The scale leaves, they are small, simple, brown in color, and they are scaly, called as scaly leaves. They does not function as photosynthesis. Foliage leaves, they are green, and they are also called as the megaphyllous. They can be differentiated into megaphyllous and microphyllous. Micro and the megaphyllous leaves. The foliage, the leaves are of the two types, scale leaves and foliage leaves. The scale leaves, they are brown, smaller in size. They does not show the chlorophyll. They are non-green, they are brown in color. The foliage leaves, they are green in color, and foliage leaves are of the two types, that is the microphyllous and megaphyllous. The microphyllous are small single nerved, and the megaphyllous are large pinnate leaves. They can be also called as the megaphyllous leaves. The sporophytic stem, it is the branched, and the branching may be monopodial. Monopodial means the axial branch they can grow, and the two lateral branches they can be grows first, and at the axillary branch they can be grows continuous. It is called as monopodial branching. The plant body, it is a sporophyte, and sporophytic plant body, it can bears the leaf and stem. Then the pteridophytes, they have well developed vascular tissue system in the root and stem, and the vascular tissues, it can include the xylem and phloem. Xylem consists of tracheids only, and phloem is made up of these sieve tubes also. The pteridophytes, it also have the wide range of stellar evolution, and they can also show the simple protostele to the polycyclic condition. Simple protostele in which at the center there is xylem, xylem is surrounded by phloem, then pericycle etc. can be also shown. And the polycyclic stele can be also present, that is many steles they can be also present in case of the Selaginella. More than one stele is also present, that is 2-3 steles they are present in a single stem, and therefore it is called as the polycyclic stele. Polycyclic stele, it is found in the Selaginella plant also. Then reproduction, the pteridophytes, it can reproduces by formation of these spores as well as by formation of these sex organs. And the plant body, it is a sporophyte which can produces the haploid spores. The spores, they are produced in sporangia, and where the sporangia are formed, the sporangia they are formed on the ventral surface of the leaves. On the ventral surface of the leaves, the sporangia they can be also formed, and into that sporangia the spores they can be also formed. And on the basis of present the sporangia, they are generally formed on the ventral surface of the leaves, or as well as in some, that is in Selaginella, the sporangia they are formed in the axil of the leaves. Here this is the stem, and in the stem axis there is the sporangia they are formed, and the sporangia they may be microsporangia as well as the megasporangia. Sporangia may be microsporangia and megasporangia. In some pteridophytes, only one type of sporangia or only one type of spores are formed. It is called as the homosporous pteridophytes, and some are the heterosporous pteridophyte. Heterosporous means the pteridophyte which can show the two types of sporangia, that is microsporangia and megasporangia. The microsporangia, it contains microspores, megasporangia, it contains the megaspores, and therefore the pteridophytes, they are the homosporous as well as the heterosporous. Homosporous means the pteridophyte, it can show only one type of sporangia or only one type of spores. There is no differentiation of microsporangia and megasporangia. They are called as homosporous pteridophytes. And heterosporous pteridophytes, the pteridophytes which can show the two types of sporangia and two types of spores, that is megasporangia and microsporangia. Microsporangia contains microspore and megasporangia contains the megaspores, and such type of spores or sporangia, they are called as heterosporous sporangia, and the pteridophytes are called as heterosporous pteridophytes. And these pteridophytes, they can include the homosporous pteridophytes are Bryopteris, Lycopodium, Equisetum, and heterosporous pteridophytes, it can include the Selaginella, Marsillia, they are the heterosporous pteridophytes. And the development of sporangia in pteridophytes is variable, and on the basis of development of this sporangia, pteridophytes, they can be divided into two types, that is eusporangiate pteridophytes and the leptosporangiate pteridophytes. In case of the eusporangiate pteridophytes, sporangia, they are developed from the group of the superficial cells, and example is the Lycopodium and Selaginella. Lycopodium and Selaginella, they are the eusporangiate pteridophytes. They are called the eusporangiate because sporangia, they can develop from group of superficial cells, and leptosporangiate type, in which the sporangium, they can be developed from the single superficial cells, and example is the Bryopteris and Marsillia. Sporophyll in pteridophytes, it may be distributed uniformly or they may be aggregated, and they can form the compact cones. In case of the Selaginella, there is a compact cones are formed, and on that, that is microsporangia and megasporangia, they are also formed, and this is the cone of Selaginella, and on that cone the microsporangia and megasporangia are formed, and they are formed compactly in the axil of the leaves, and therefore it is called as cone. In some pteridophytes, sporangia, they are present on the surface, ventral surface of the leaves, while in some pteridophytes, in case of the Marsillia, the sporangia, they are formed in a specialized structure, it is called as sporocarp, and the sporocarp, it is a bean-shaped structure. Into that bean-shaped structure, the microsporangia and megasporangia, they are formed, and the spore germination produces gametophyte, and after germination of the gametophyte, the spore germinate and forms the gametophyte, and gametophyte may be monoecious or dioecious. In case of the homosporous pteridophytes means the pteridophytes which can bear only one type of spores, it is called as homosporous pteridophytes, and heterosporous pteridophytes, in which they bear two types of sporangia and spores, they are called as heterosporous pteridophytes. The gametophyte in homosporous pteridophytes, it is a monoecious. Monoecious means, mono means single. The male and female sex organs, they are formed on the single gametophytic plant body, they are called as monoecious pteridophytes, and the monoecious gametophyte, it is also called as prothallus. Then in heterosporous pteridophytes, the gametophyte, it is a dioecious, that is sex organs, that is Antheridia and Archegonia, they can be distributed on different gametophytes. The male gametophyte and female gametophyte is different in the dioecious species, and that is in heterosporous pteridophytes, the gametophyte is dioecious. In heterosporous pteridophyte, the gametophyte, it is a dioecious, while in homosporous pteridophyte, the gametophyte is monoecious, in which sex organs Antheridia and Archegonia, they are formed on the same gametophyte or in a one gametophyte. And in heterosporous pteridophytes, The gametophyte, it is a dioecious, that is sex organs. The Antheridia and Archegonia, they are distributed on different gametophytes. The microspore germinates and to form male gametophyte. Megaspore germinates and to forms the female gametophyte. The male sex organ, it is Antheridium, which can produces multiflagellate anthrozoids. The female sex organ is Archegonium, which contains the egg in their venter also. The sex organs are embedded in the prothallus, and after maturation of the sex organs, the fertilization can be takes place, and for the fertilization water is also essential. After fertilization, the diploid zygote is formed, or it is also called as oospore. And the oospore or zygote, it is the first cell of the sporophytic generation in the pteridophytes. The oospore, or that is zygote, it can grow and form the embryo, and embryo of pteridophytes may be classified into two types, that is exoscopic embryo and the endoscopic embryo. The pteridophytes, it can also show the typical heteromorphic alternation of generation. So these are the general characters of the pteridophytes.